Hello and welcome to the Norwegian Woods. In this video I'm going to go on a little fishing trip, show you some of the old school ways of catching fish as I learned as a little boy from my father, and I hope you find that interesting. Hello again. It's a little bit windy. I hope the sound is okay. I just reached a spot I'm going to spend the night. Hopefully I'll catch some fish and see the full moon. It's a full moon tonight. Exciting. As you can see, I found a couple of trees that will suit my hammock. So I think that's the first thing I'll do. Put up the hammock and open up the sleeping bag so we can get a little bit of air inside. It's always good. It's warmer when the night comes. Right before I left home, I watched the weather forecast on the internet, and it says it's possible it's going to be a little bit of rain tonight, so I guess I ought to put up my tarp just in case. So hopefully this will hold up for the night. It's catching a little bit of the wind. It's like a sailboat. I'll try to tie it down, so hopefully it will be alright. So the camp is up. Hopefully the tarp will hold up against the wind. I'm a little bit hungry, so I think I'll fry myself some hot dogs. It's kind of the mandatory Norwegian camping food. Unfortunately, it's not allowed to make open fire at this time of the year, between the 15th of April and the 15th of September. It's not allowed, so I have to bring this stove. In 2 or 3 weeks I'm back on the campfire. I'm really looking forward to it. Usually when I go camping I don't have this kind of furniture, but in this particular spot there's a table. That's actually quite nice. It makes cooking a little bit easier. After I'm finished eating, I'll try to make a fishing rod. Maybe I'll catch some fish today. Now I'm walking around the campsite a little bit, scouting a little bit, and I found this tree. I think this will serve the purpose as a fishing rod today. To make this kind of fishing rod, I wanted to find a tree that is quite long and not too thick, and that doesn't break too easy and not too heavy. That's the main thing, because I'm going to hold it, and after a while a heavy fishing rod, it's tiring me out. I guess this is the simplest kind of fishing rod that you can, maybe not the simplest, but one of the simplest kinds of fishing rods. It's really a traditional way to catch fish. I've seen a lot of videos with people with this survival kits, and they keep all this fishing equipment in it, and I haven't seen that many that actually show how to catch fish with it. It's nice tools, and it's not rocket science, but with a fishing rod like this, I think maybe like 3-4 meters, not too heavy. It's nice to catch some small fish. So I brought my fishing pole back to my eating table. I also took out my little fishing kit. It's not too fancy. This is maybe cheating, but I actually bought some earthworms, Mike, before last weekend. I went on a trip with my sister and my nephew. I tried to catch some fish in another small lake, but no luck. But there's still some bait left, so I'll try to use some more of it today. I also got one of these small styrofoam floaters, some lead sinkers, a small bag of fishing hooks, and some fishing line. I think this actually is a little bit thicker than ideal, but I used to catch some pike with this, and with this setup I will try to catch some perch. I think it's called perch. I guess first I'll try to cut off the end of this line, because it's a little bit old and it's been turned around this little bit, so maybe it's a little weak. And attach one of my hooks. Don't know really that many fancy knots and stuff like that, but this is an easy one. Just turn it a few times, put it through the loop. This should be plenty strong for the small fish. Just cut off the end and find a couple of these small sinkers. Maybe two of them will be fine. Usually when I was a kid and I put these on, I used to just bite them, but I had my pliers, so I don't have to eat the lead. That's kind of nice. Just put a line, this little slot, put the pliers, squeeze it. Solid. Another one. Yeah, that's good. Sticks, so that's okay. I put a little bit of distance. I don't know if it's perfect, but hopefully it works. The next step is to cut a piece of this line. Just attach the hook at one end, at the handle end of the fishing rod, and I try to measure out so I get a line that's just as long as the rod. Maybe a little bit longer, but not much. Hope you can see this. Yeah, like so. I try to attach so it doesn't go out all the way. Like that. I think it's nice to put this sinker in now, and not the floater, before I start to tie it on, or else I have a problem. I don't know exactly. Yeah. I'll just tie a few knots. Turn it like I did on the other side. Just pass it through and tighten it. Yeah, I think that should be plenty. So now I just made myself a fishing rod to catch some perch. It's good. So the next step is to put on the bait. This is one of the earthworms. You can find them pretty much everywhere. It can be a little hard to find a lot of them, but I think the best place to actually find them is if you have kind of this it's called compost. It's this dump for organic waste at home, where you put the grass after you cut the grass or other kind of debris, in there. These little worms actually help the decomposing of the waste. They kind of make earth, and these make really nice bait. So it's just to try to put the hook inside and feed it through. What I've been told about this process is that it's a little bit important that the tip of the hook doesn't show, that it's inside the worm. But this is what I hope the perch will have for dinner today. As you can see now, hopefully, the worm and the hook is on this side, and I have I don't know exactly how deep it is, but if I get out the distance I can with this setup, I think maybe this is about 1 meter or so. Should be a place to start, and hopefully there's some fish waiting for me down there. The whole thing with this method is to attach the line to the tip of the fishing rod and take the line through the little floater, and further down you have the sinkers, and then you have the hook and the bait at the bottom. So it's really key to understand that if you want to adjust the depth of the bait, you have to move the floater up and down, as you see I do in this movie. And I think it's good to stay a few centimeters, maybe a foot or so, above the bottom of the water. So if you actually make the distance from the floater and down to the sinkers and the hook too long, it rests on the bottom, and I don't think that's a good way to use this method. Yeah, and there's also one thing about this sinkers and the floaters you use for this method. I see a lot of other setups where the sinker actually rests on the bottom. In this setup it doesn't do that. It just pulls the end of the line down from the surface. So the actual floater is holding the sinker above the bottom of the water, and if the sinker is too heavy, if you have to use a rock or something like this, I think the floater might actually sink. So you have to find the balance between the weight of the sinker and the capacity of the floater to keep the sinkers not going to the bottom. But it's yeah, it should be easy to understand. I just want to mention it. Perch. It's a small one, but I guess it's tasty. After you throw out the bait into a spot where you think the fish might be waiting for some breakfast or some dinner, you have to watch this floater. That's the key, because you don't feel that the actual fish grab onto the bait, because you have a slack on the line from the tip of the rod until and down to the floater, and from the floater and down to the sinker, it's the line is tight. So when the fish attacks the bait, the earthworms in this video, you can just you see it on the floater. It starts to move down, and as a general rule, if you see that the fish actually pull the whole of the floater underwater, then it's a good chance that it's hooked on the end of the line. So you can try to just lift the rod, and the fish will follow. Usually with this small perch, it's just to lift it up, and since the length of the line is the same as the rod, when you lift up the fish, it comes straight to you. So it's really easy to grab onto the fish, compared to other like this primitive setups with throwing lines and stuff. It's more of a hustle, and you don't have to pull the sinker and everything along the bottom, so it hooks on to stuff that's lying down there. You just pull it straight up, and the fish and everything shouldn't catch on to all kinds of stuff in the water. It looks like the small fish ate off my bait. I put on a new worm. Yeah, as you can see here, I managed to catch 4 small fish, perch. It's I'm losing a little bit of the light. The sun has gone down, and the full moon is soon coming up. So I think I'll just clean this fish and have it as a snack before I go to bed. And maybe I can catch a few more tomorrow. I can show you a little bit more how I do this. This is actually really nice. I hope you can see the full moon. Just came over the hill, and I'm sitting here with my headlamp, cleaning my little fish, and I'm just enjoying the light show. So this is my 4 small fish after I cleaned them. They are ready for the frying pan, and the moon is still moving so quietly. It's so nice out there. This smells so nice. It's I put them in the pan with a little bit of butter and salt and pepper, and it smells really nice. Oh. So I just had my fish and a cup of coffee. It was good, just as I expected. So now I'm about to get ready to to bed. Find my sleeping bag. It's really nice to just sit here and watch the moon. It's kind of like a substitute for a campfire. It's nice in a different way. I hope you're able to see this in the light from my headlamp. It's the thermometer. It's showing 14 degrees C and I think 58 degrees F. So it's nice. For a late summer night in Norway, this is really nice. A couple of weeks ago I went out on a little overnighter, and I brought an old sleeping bag I had for my trip in Australia a few years ago. And I really have to say that summer night in Norway, it's colder than a winter night in Australia. I was actually pretty cold, so I have a much better sleeping bag tonight. It's yeah, it's a good one. I really like it. I just ran out of power on my headlamp. I guess I forgot to bring some spare batteries, but I had a spare flashlight, so it should be okay. So now I packed down my stuff into my backpack so I could put it down under the tarp and under the hammock. And I have this little orange dry bag which I can put my clothes in so they don't get wet during the night, and it's easy to reach them in the morning. I find that, yeah, it's okay to do it like that. Good morning. I just woke up after a good night's sleep. I woke up in the middle of the night. It was actually raining a little bit, so it was a good thing I put up the tarp. I also heard a little bit of a thunderstorm. So I just made myself a little bit of breakfast. I'm going to try to do some more fishing, and then I will leave for home. I'll try some more fishing. I moved like something like 200 or 300 meters from the campsite, and I found a place I think might work. As you can see, there's a couple of trees that's blown over and fallen into the water, and usually that's a good spot to catch some fish, because the fish finds so many places they can hide and feel secure inside this branches of the fallen tree. So I'll give it a go and see if I can catch some more fish. There is a little trick that you can use to carry your fish, your perch, after you caught it. It's really simple actually. And just find a little tree that has a small branch. I hope you can see this. And then just cut it. And leave this little branch like a little hook. It's not big, but I think it's enough. What I just cut off was a little piece, a little twig like this, with this little hook. And I can show you how to put the fish on after you catch it. So, I hope you can see this. I put on another worm. And I'm going to try to put my hook. I think it's a little bit, it's not as deep as where I was yesterday, so I'll try to shorten this this depth a little bit. Maybe like 60 or 70 centimeters. So it stops a little bit above the bottom of the water. And this is the thing about the length of the fishing rod. It gives a little bit more control on where to actually put the line in the water. It's a little bit of a technique to it. I'm no expert, but see how it goes. See, I catch one. I can show you how I kill it, and how it's actually a really small one, but the hook almost caught his eye, so I want to kill him. I don't want to let him out. He's injured. This is the Perch. And you can see the hook is going out right next to his eye. So you can see his fin here is really sharp, like needles, these little points. So I try not to grab it like this. It's good to take the hand from above and lay this down and hold it securely. And I take out the hook, so I don't hurt myself on it. And what I usually do, what I learned when I was a kid, you just take a finger, put it under here, and open up, and you break his neck backwards. Then it doesn't suffer at all. It's instant death. So you see, no more life in this fish. I actually caught 2 or 3 others that I let out, and there's another small one I also caught in the eye. He swallowed the hook, and the hook went out through his eye, so I killed him as well. And I can try to show you how to put them on the little stick to carry them. It's actually quite neat. You can just take this stick, and you see there's the gills, and there's an opening right through the mouth. So you just do like this, and then it's easy to carry. I can put on the other one I killed as well. See, another fish, just through his gills and his mouth. And this makes it easy. If you catch like 10 or 15 of these, or maybe you catch some bigger ones, you can just make a bigger twig, and you just carry them at the top of the handle like this. It's good. There's another little thing I want to show you about making this fishing rod, like the one I did yesterday. I brought this little floater made from styrofoam, and it's kind of convenient to have one of these because it's easy to see in the water. But if you don't have it, if you don't just have the hooks and maybe the sinkers, then you can use something like this. It's the bark of the pine tree. Some of them, some of these trees has this big chunks of bark that it's actually quite easy to peel off. You can see it's if it doesn't cut too deep, it shouldn't hurt the tree too much, because I think the tree just drops this. But it's easy to work with a knife, and you can shape it into something a little bit manageable, like this. And you can take a small twig and make a hole in it. That makes it easy to adjust the depth of the hook. You just put the fishing line through the hole and you lock it with this pin, like this. It's just a hole through, and it's the pin that actually locks it in place on the line. And it's easy to make it from some of this pine bark. Now I'm back at camp, trying to show you quick how to clean this fish. I start with just cutting the belly. It's like this. Stick your thumb in, take out the guts. Then I just cut off the head like that. And this fish has a lot of small scales that you really don't want to eat. So the easiest way, especially with the small ones, is to take some pliers and just scrape it off like that. Like this, the other way. Just watch out so you don't cut yourself with a knife. Take away some of these small fins, especially the spiky one on the back. I don't want to eat that. Cut off the tail, and I got to clean it. So that was my fishing trip, and at the end of this trip I actually run out of memory on my memory card, so I couldn't finish it at the spot I was on. So I guess I tried to do it here. There's in this video you saw me using this knife, and I thought maybe I will make a short review or give you some of my thoughts on this little knife. I really have to say that I like this little knife. It's really not that special, but for me it is. I got this knife maybe 20 years ago, something like that, for Christmas, and it's been with me on many trips. And it's the sheath, as you can see, is actually worn out. It's the sheath itself is not really that good of quality. If you look at the knife, it's a little bit rusty and worn, but it's all done by me. It's been a part of my outdoor life for many years, and I think it's a really good quality knife. It's made by Helle. It's a Norwegian company, and it's called Fjording. I actually think that Helle stopped making this knife a little while ago, so I don't know if it's possible to find a new one in the shops. When I looked at the Helle website, I saw that they make a very similar knife. It's called Norwegian, and actually that knife looks a little bit nicer, but I think it's the same design. I tried to measure the blade before I left home, and the thickness of the blade is on this one is I think 2.5 millimeters, and the length is 6.8 centimeters, something like that. And when I looked at the measurements of the new version of this, it says that the thickness of the new blade is 2.7 millimeters, and the length is 7 centimeters. So maybe that was the original size of my blade as well. After all these years, maybe I've worn it down a little bit. I don't know. But as you can see from this this video, it has a little bit unusual shape of the handle. It's pretty thin and wide, but I find it gives a really stable grip, and with the short blade you get a lot of control over when you're using the knife. So as you saw in the video, it's a good knife to use for many different things, and I think that pretty much everything that you can use a knife for in bushcraft and camping, this will do it all pretty much. Maybe with the exception of batoning firewood, but usually I never do that anyway. That's yeah. I think the blade is made of high carbon steel. It's one of the last models from Helle made of this non-laminated hard carbon steel, and the handle, I think it's some kind of birch wood. And I have a plan for this knife, because usually I don't bring it on my trips that much anymore, because I have a couple of other knives that I also really like, and since the sheath is so worn out, I can't put it on my belt anymore. So I thought maybe one day I can make another sheath and wear it as a neck knife or something like that. I think that whatever knife you bring and have available when you're out in the woods is a good knife, so you shouldn't worry too much about what knife to carry. Yeah, I think that's it for this this video. I hope it wasn't too bad. So until next time, take care, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.